Hi, my name is RJ, and I am with a very credible mortgage broker who's been helping people for many years get everything that they've needed out of their mortgages, reverse mortgages, or helping them move along with doing the right thing that's for them when it comes to helping them finance their house. I have with me Dave Nute, and I want to ask Dave several questions so we can get anyone who's watching this more information and how they can also get in contact with Dave if they're interested about getting financial advice or getting a loan done by Dave. What if they own a manufactured home and do they need to own the lot? Do they not need to own the lot? And is there any issue if the home was manufactured before 1989 or after 1989?
That's an excellent question, because a lot of homes in my area where I live, I'm out here in Sequim, Washington, and it's a rural area for the most part. A lot of people buy manufactured homes. There's a lot of manufactured home communities here in town. To answer your question, first of all, you have to have rented. You cannot have your home on rented land. You have to own the property underneath the house. Okay. The second part of the question is, what age does a manufactured home have to be? Technically, under the HUD rules, they used to go back to, I think, about 1976 on that. However, most of the major lenders that are out there for the last few years have been requiring a minimum age after 1989. So if your home was built in 1990 or later, we shouldn't have a problem. Another problem with manufactured homes, we have to make sure that it's affixed to the property. Okay, for example, the very first case I had, I think this was back in 2005. A couple had a manufactured home. It was young enough to qualify, but they just had it sitting out there on their lot on cinder blocks. Nothing was tied down. Can't imagine how they would fare in a heavy wind. So in this case here, everything has to be fixed to the ground. There are certain rules for that too. But
That's fantastic.
But we get many manufactured homes approved. So once again, let's sit down and talk about it, and we'll take it from there. See what makes sense.
Where do you specialize in reverse mortgages? Is it limited to an area, a state, or do you do all 50 states?
I'm only licensed in the state of Washington. Once again, the reverse mortgage is part of my job. I've got other things to keep me occupied. So I just don't have the time really to go outside of the state of Washington. But within the state of Washington, we primarily work our 4-county area around me: Clallam, Jefferson, Island, and Kitsap County. But it's not unusual for me to travel. If I've got somebody that needs some help, I'm happy to travel anywhere in Western Washington. Or frankly, we can often do a lot of this over the phone. I know with the pandemic and everything, we're all concerned about personal contact. And frankly, we can do this over the phone. It might not be the ideal situation, but that's kind of the life we're living today. But you tell me what you want to do. If you want me to drive to your home a couple hundred miles from here, that's not a problem. I'm happy to sit down and go through that if this makes sense for your situation.
Wow, that's a lot of great information that you gave. And I know there's a lot more information that people may have, or some questions that they'd have that might be on their mind. Dave, what is the best contact number to reach you at?
My toll-free line is 1-800-562-9514.
Can you do me a favor and repeat that one more time?
1-800-562-9514.
And what if someone wants to get in contact with you via email? What's the best email that they can get in contact with you?
DNUTECP@OLYP as in Paul, EN as in Nancy.com.
Okay.
DNUTCFP@olipin.com.
Is there any other, or is there a third way to contact you, or are those the two best ways?
Those are probably the best ways.
Okay.
We also have our websites.
Great. What's your website?
Well, there's a lot of advantages to that website. Number one, there's a lot of great information, a lot of questions and answers, just like what we've been through. There's a calculator to help you get an idea of what amount would be available. there's a way to get my free book. I've written a book on reverse mortgages called The Truth About Reverse Mortgages. It's got some excellent information in it and tells you a little bit more about my background, et cetera, if you want to know. So our website is www.northwest, the full word, NORTHWEST, Northwest reversemortgage.com. Okay. And there's ways you can contact with me through that.
Got you. So that was www.northwestreversemortgage.com.
Exactly.
Is that plural or singular?
Singular on mortgage.
Got you. So www.northwestreversemortgage.com. And there you can find, once again, Dave's book on the truth about reverse mortgages and a lot of great questions that we maybe have not covered here that you can find on his website. But the best thing I think you should do is get in contact with Dave. And one of the easiest and fastest ways that anybody can do is just pick up the phone. And what's that phone number one more time, Dave?
1-800-562-9514.
Well, we've had Dave. Now, do you have anything else that you'd like to add to tell the viewers? Anything on the top of your mind before we leave this interview?
There's no cost for the book. I'll ship it out on my dime there. I also give a $1,000 credit out of my pocket to the closing cost. It's limited to your closing costs for any reverse mortgage you get through us. I believe in education. I want my clients to understand what they're going to do. And I find the best way for me to do this is to share the information in that book. And frankly, you know, unlike some situations, I'm not afraid of you learning more about this subject. The more you learn about the reverse mortgage, the more you're going to find it can make sense for your situation. So I'm happy to pass that $1,000 bonus along to help you reduce your closing costs, just because I think it's important.
If you're listening and you're interested about reverse mortgages, I suggest you go to www.northwestreversemortgage.com. Get some more information. Also, don't be afraid to be able to get the free book that Dave has written that explains everything about the reverse mortgage, giving you more information out there, and his special of $1,000 off of any of the closing costs and limited to the closing costs, $1,000 off of your next reverse mortgage with Dave. I think that's very powerful, and I think that's very generous of you.
Thank you, RJ. Appreciate it very much.
Well, there's a couple options that Dave has for you. If you're interested and you're in the Washington area and you are above the age of 62, you have a house with equity, and you're looking for a way to not pay or eliminate your mortgage payments, get a tax-free loan, and be able to stay in your house, Dave is the person, the professional for you. And once again, if you are in that area or any of those 4 counties or, you know, in the state, like he said, he can do multiple things. 1, he can take the application or talk to you over the phone. 2, he can drive to you, even if it's a couple hundred miles, so you absolutely know that this man is service oriented. And 3, with the COVID going on, the pandemic, there might be an option for you to do exactly what we're doing right now, which is a live video chat, which he can set up with you also. So there's multiple ways that you can get in contact with Dave, and there's multiple ways that he can help you. So Dave, I'd like to thank you once again for such a wonderful interview, and I'm hoping you have a fantastic and wonderful day.
I intend to. You do the same.
Okay.
Thank you.
Talk to you soon, Dave.
Take care.